In Ninh Binh, water from upstream has caused the Hoang Long River to rise rapidly, leading to flooding in some areas of Zaz Veen district. Despite prior preparation, the sudden surge of floodwater overnight left Tran Van Zoy's family in Ken Gar village unable to evacuate all their belongings in time. While his family has been relocated to safer areas, Zoy stayed behind to look after the house, livestock, and poultry.
My family had a raft prepared in the house, but some belongings still couldn't be evacuated in time because the flood came too suddenly.
Currently, boats, both motorized and manually rowed, are the primary means of transportation for residents. Local authorities have instructed the communes to implement measures to ensure safe travel and the transport of goods.
We also urge residents to stay informed about water levels in the rivers to take preventive measures by elevating their belongings to avoid damage from the flooding.
In Mok Chau Town, Son La Province, one of the areas heavily affected by Typhoon Yagi, 142 households experienced flooding, walls collapsed, and large areas of crops were submerged under mud and debris.
Around 9 or 10 a.m. yesterday, my family moved everything to higher ground. If we hadn't made it to my in-laws' house in time, we might have been swept away. Later, a neighbor called to tell us our house was completely destroyed.
Local authorities have implemented the "for on the spot" policy to support residents in stabilizing their lives.
The damage in residential areas is extensive. We're on site, working with youth volunteers to provide support and assist in the initial recovery efforts for affected communities.
Recovery efforts remain challenging, and the affected households urgently need support from the community, donors, and local authorities to overcome the storm's impact. On Ko To Island, Quang Ninh Province, the storm has left the island paralyzed, with power outages and telecommunications down. Over 500 homes, offices, schools, hotels, and cultural centers suffered roof damage. As soon as Typhoon Yagi passed, residents began cleaning up fallen trees and debris, restoring the environment, and addressing damages to quickly stabilize their lives.
After the storm, my family lost everything. We have no choice but to start over and recover from this loss.
Efforts are currently focused on restoring power lines and equipment to resume normal electricity supply and re-establish communication. The island district is mobilizing all available resources to help residents recover from the storm, repair damaged houses, clean up the environment, and clear fallen trees along roads.
We have called for additional support from Van Don district, but the sea is currently closed, so we are taking proactive steps to restore the telecommunications infrastructure as soon as possible.
All forces are working urgently to recover from the impact of storm number 3, focusing on clearing affected areas, especially key roads and residential routes. Efforts are also being made to reinforce vulnerable areas and assist policy households, elderly residents, and those facing difficult circumstances.